Donald Trump, a figure known for his bold personality and massive wealth, steps into a humble diner one chilly winter evening. The scene seems ordinary, but something extraordinary is about to unfold. In the corner of the room sits a struggling single mother, juggling a baby on her hip while trying to finish her shift. Unaware of who just walked in, she continues her work, her face etched with exhaustion. What happens when this billionaire, famous for his deals and grandeur, notices her plight? The answer will leave you speechless. Jessica, a single mother in her early 30s, had been working at the small-town diner for years. It wasn't her dream job, but it kept food on the table for her and her 2-year-old son, Alex. Life had been particularly hard lately, rising bills, mounting debt, and a broken-down car meant she often had to walk miles to get to work, no matter the weather. The holiday season, usually a time of joy, was just a painful reminder of what she couldn't provide for her son. That evening, the diner was unusually quiet. Jessica, trying to stay warm in the drafty room, was balancing clearing tables and keeping an eye on Alex, who sat in a high chair nearby. She wore a tired smile for the few customers who came in, but her mind was a storm of worries. Would she be able to afford rent this month? Would her son ever experience the magic of Christmas that she had dreamed of giving him? As Jessica worked, the door jingled, and in walked a sharply dressed man flanked by a small entourage. It was Donald Trump. Most patrons froze, recognizing him instantly. Jessica, however, didn't pay much attention. She was too focused on finishing her shift and getting Alex home. Trump took a seat at a corner booth, his usual commanding presence softened by a quiet demeanor that night. He observed the room, his eyes eventually settling on Jessica. Her resilience stood out to him, the way she moved between tables, her gentle care for her son, and the weariness hidden behind her forced smiles. It was a scene he couldn't ignore. When Jessica finally approached his table to take his order, her polite but distracted demeanor intrigued him. "Rough day?" he asked casually. She hesitated, surprised by his question, but replied with a practiced, "It's just a busy time of year." Their brief exchange lingered in Trump's mind. He watched as Jessica struggled to console her son while handling the demands of the job. For someone used to living in luxury, it was a stark reminder of the struggles many faced. That's when he decided to do something unexpected, something that would change Jessica's life forever. As Jessica brought Donald Trump his coffee, she apologized for the delay, explaining how hard it was to balance work and caring for her son. Trump listened intently, his usual commanding presence replaced by a quiet empathy. "You're doing an incredible job," he said, his tone sincere. Jessica smiled politely, not thinking much of the comment. After finishing his meal, Trump asked Jessica if she could sit for a moment. Surprised, she hesitated but eventually agreed, taking a seat across from him while keeping one eye on Alex. Trump leaned forward, his voice kind yet direct. "I can see how hard you're working, and it's clear you love your son. Let me help you." Jessica blinked, confused. "Help me?" she asked cautiously. Trump reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a checkbook. He wrote swiftly, then slid a check across the table. Jessica's eyes widened when she saw the amount, $50,000. Her hands trembled as she stared at it, unable to believe what was happening. "This isn't charity," Trump said, anticipating her hesitation. "It's a recognition of your determination. Use this to get ahead, fix your car, pay off debts, and give your son the life you want for him." Tears welled up in Jessica's eyes as she stammered her gratitude, barely able to process the moment. But then Trump added an unexpected twist. "By the way," he said with a warm smile, "this isn't just from me. It's a reminder that sometimes, the world notices the unsung heroes like you." As he stood to leave, Trump shook her hand firmly and waved goodbye to Alex, who giggled from his high chair. Jessica was left stunned, holding the check and the overwhelming realization that her life had just changed in a way she never imagined. Jessica's life transformed almost overnight. With the $50,000, she was able to fix her car, pay off her debts, and move into a safer, more comfortable home for her and Alex. For the first time in years, she felt a sense of stability and hope. The weight of her struggles, which had been her constant companion, finally lifted. But the impact of Trump's generosity didn't stop there. Jessica took a portion of the money and enrolled in night classes, pursuing her dream of becoming a nurse. She wanted to build a better future not just for herself and Alex, but also to give back to others as she had been helped. Word of Trump's unexpected act of kindness spread through the community, inspiring others. Regular customers at the diner began tipping more generously, and a local mechanic offered free car maintenance for single mothers in need. Jessica's story became a beacon of hope, showing that acts of kindness, no matter how grand or small, can ripple outward, touching countless lives. For Jessica, the biggest change wasn't just financial, it was the belief in herself that Trump's gesture had reignited. His simple act had reminded her that she mattered, that her struggles were seen, and that help could come from the most unexpected places. Years later, as Jessica walked across the stage to receive her nursing degree, she thought back to that night in the diner. She often told Alex, now a curious and bright young boy, about the stranger who had changed their lives with a single check and a lot of heart. And as she reflected on it all, Jessica realized the true power of kindness. It not only transforms lives but also plants seeds of hope, inspiring others to keep the chain of compassion alive. Jessica's life was forever changed by one unexpected act of kindness. What began as an ordinary evening turned into a story of hope, transformation, and inspiration, not just for her, but for an entire community. Sometimes, even the richest people remind us that kindness is priceless. No matter our circumstances, we all have the power to make a difference in someone's life. And in doing so, we create a ripple effect of compassion that can reach farther than we ever imagined.